In today's video, we're going to talk about one change that you have to make to become successful when it comes to chipping and pitching. And it was something that I didn't learn until very much my sort of latter years as a professional golfer, when I was learning about how to coach students just like yourselves. Now, believe me, even though I got down to a good level as an amateur golfer, I used to have apprehension with chipping and sort of pitch shots up to about 50 yards. And that's because I didn't really know about this little alteration that you need to make. Now, first of all, let's talk about the full swing. Now, what happens in the full swing is we would have a backswing position. We would obviously shift our weight towards the lead side, but my spine will always be tilted. Okay, so we don't hit the shot where the spine stays vertical. You'll always have a tilted spine, and the reason for that is because when we have this tilted spine, the hands go forward, and the hands are the thing that controls the low point on the back of the golf ball. So having that sort of correct weight shift towards the lead side and this tilted spine enables those hands to get forward and control that low point. And that was something I was really confident with. But the problem is it's not the same with short game shots. We don't necessarily want to be driving the hands massively ahead because we don't need it. We don't need to create an abundance of lag, and we don't need an abundance of shaft lean. So this is why I think I see with a lot of golfers, you start moving the ball position around, etc., having this sort of shaft lean position, you're going to struggle with those short game shots. So what you need to do is you need to make a fundamental difference to your setup position. So when we get set up, we don't want to have a subtle tilt. And we don't want to be feeling like we're controlling our low point by introducing shaft lean. We don't want that. What we want to do is we want to neutralize the spine. We want to get the spine more vertical, or if you like, you want to get your shoulders more horizontal. And it's that little, if you watch me now, so that's my sort of full shot setup. That's my sort of pitching chip shot setup. So you can see there's a big difference between what happens to my body. Now, I kind of get a feeling of pointing my belt buckle down towards my lead ankle, and when I do this just opens up the hips a little bit, and as it opens up the hips, it just helps me push a little bit of weight on that lead side. But as I mentioned earlier, it helps me neutralize my shoulders so they're not so tilted and they're more this way. Now all of a sudden, because I'm sort of getting myself over the golf ball with my sternum, I don't have to drive my hands forward to control the low point. That club will naturally find the bottom part of that swing, even if I exaggerate the feeling of trying to scoop it to add loft. So that's the big difference that you have to make when it comes to these chipping and these pitching shots. Obviously, when you advance a little bit further out, you know, beyond say 60, 70, 80, 90 and plus, then you can return to a sort of hybrid in between the two. But when it's talking about these little shots, you definitely need to be neutralizing that setup position. And then that way you're going to find life much easier to control that low point, but also having that ability to play a variety of shots. But make that change first and foremost, because like I say, it made a massive difference to me, and it opened up a completely new world to some short game shots.